Or experimental, and use Gillette razor. Basically, you just have to make sure, okay, that you have, you come in, the strokes that you make with your razor have to be strokes with the grain of your head. That's simple. Not too many strokes. Just come with it. But if you notice, the difference between this and shaving cream is that we're dealing with a different monster when we're dealing with black hair. And shaving cream, no matter how much these chemical people try, they will never be able to understand the black man's hair. And that's just the truth. Now what I'm going to do is, what Curtis did was wipe his razor on a dry towel to get the excess out. But what I have to do is, since I'm using this type of razor, I'm going to rinse it out. Every few strokes, so I'm gonna rinse it out. But I don't want it to get too wet. I'm gonna keep it dry. Don't want it to get too wet. So what I'm gonna do is, after I rinse it out, just dry out the blade a little bit. Dry out the blade a little bit. Because you got a lot of moisture and oil in here with what you got. Just make sure you're going with the grain, and you will be A-okay. But you gotta make sure you're going with the grain. Up here, I'm very certain it's with the grain, so I'm coming with the grain. You don't have to do as many multiple strokes, but it's a little better to do short, quicker strokes depending on the type of razor. Now if you're using a straight razor, it's a whole different ballgame as far as your strokes. That takes a whole another mastery all in itself. But I'm using short, quick strokes with this here until I feel that the blade is getting pretty packed. Rinse it out. Rinse it out and dry it off. Now I'm going to come down with the grain on this side.
Preparing for tomorrow, you do what you have to do. I'll share the weight, whatever.
Basically, that shave therapy is just giving your blade a different type of lubricant to shaving cream. This is more of a shea butter, more of a creamy, natural lubricant for skin with melanin, black skin, brown skin, beige skin, soulful skin, people with thick skin. And that just makes a difference in how the blade comes across in that skin. So we've softened it a lot with that heat. And then we've also given ourselves a nice smooth area to make our strokes on. I usually go as far as I can in the mirror towards one side, as far as I can kind of see where it's going on that. And then getting halfway around to the back of your head, it's going to start drying up a little bit. So a little bit more shave therapy, just to keep things nice and moist, keep things very smooth and moist. You need to do that so that when we hit it back again with that blade, we know that we got enough lubricant in there to make the right shave. So now I'm gonna pick up my little dollar store mirror again and make sure my blade is dry and clean, so I don't have any other chunks of hair in there, so it's a clean shave. And then I'm gonna go ahead, and your 99-cent mirror, even if it falls apart like that, like this, put your 99-cent mirror back together and you put your thumb right there so it doesn't fall apart on you. And you gotta make sure there's no water in the no water on the mirror, because it just fell in the sink, and it's not blurry. You need your full vision to see what you're doing. So you want to be a little careful when you come down here to this area, because now you're coming down with the grain, but usually towards most people's back, towards the back of the neck. Let me just do this part. This, we're going down, so all of this over here is coming down with the grain. Down with the grain. Down with the kings. Down with the grain. With the grain, with the grain. Check your blade, make sure it's not collecting too much hair. If it is, and you're starting to feel patches, time to rinse your blade again. Or if you have a straight razor, to wipe your blade on the towel like Curtis does. Alright, so I'll just rinse my blade. Rinse, dry, rinse, dry. Everything is a yin and yang, night and day, night and day. Rinse, dry, wet, wet, dry, moist, oil, dry. Alright, so I'm coming back down. Down here, you gotta kind of just pay attention to the way that your hair grows so you don't get bumps down there. Usually I come across right here just because of the pattern of